Yes, guys, GRP back in the house. Well, one third of the GRP anyway. Um, Leon is taking care of some business, and Damien has extra work. So you're stuck with me, unfortunately, but I know you really like it. Anyway, as always, I'm here as a gym rat and professional actor giving you all the latest on the entertainment news, movies, TVs, all that good stuff. A little sprinkling of sport now and again. And with that said, our first topic is going to be about Liver King. So we've had a request about doing a natty or not on Liver King for quite a while, and we just haven't got around to it because there's been so much to do. But something came up yesterday. I follow More Plates, More Dates, Derek, for More Plates, More Dates. And he had an exclusive yesterday about Liver King. He basically exposed Liver King about how so basically Derek got an email from a bodybuilding coach who was conversing with Liver King, and Liver King was basically asking to be coached by him because we don't know who this bodybuilding coach is, anonymous, but it's been verified that it is Liver King's email, and he's in the emails he's explaining what he's looking for, that he needs to stay in shape, and it's getting harder now. He's in his 40s, and that he's already started some testosterone and DECA and Winstrol and growth hormone. In fact, it came out that he was spending 11 grand US a month on growth hormone. It's astronomical. But then again, he can afford it because obviously his businesses, from what I've heard, make 100 million a year. So yeah, he can afford that. That's not a problem for him. But still, that's a lot of cheddar cheese. So I mean, I'm not going to go too much into the details of the emails because obviously Derek did a whole hour video on this, and it turns out that not only did that bodybuilding coach send the emails to him, which also details his blood work, but Derek also looked through his emails and found out that he actually emailed Derek along those times as well. I think middle of last year when he first started popping up on YouTube. And it's Derek. So Derek, he was asking Derek for some advice, or I think one of his someone who works for a company quite high up was asking Derek on his behalf for some advice, and Derek just saw it now. And then also they referred to the fact that they messaged Derek on his Instagram page, and Derek went and found that message as well. So it all correlates. So basically on the email, like I said, he was outlining the fact that he took DECA and testosterone cypionate and Winstrol, which are all anabolic steroids. He took growth hormone. He took various peptides. He took various research chemicals, one being ibutamorin, otherwise known as MK677, which increases the body's own production of growth hormone. So he was on a lot of stuff. But those emails also showed that he was to quite a large extent living the lifestyle that he extols to everyone. So at least that's something. But it obviously shows him to be a big, massive fraud. But if you're into this fitness world, or you know anything about the fitness world, most people kind of knew that this guy was a fraud anyway. It's quite clear cut. He's another Michael Tren, aka Michael Hearn, aka Michael Tren. That name sounds synonymous with him, Michael Trent. But it's just ridiculous that these guys claim natural. Honestly, like, you're in your mid 40s. Not only are you massive and muscular, but you are lean, and you're lean year round. That, even for a 20-year-old, is extremely rare. Like they say, as a natural, you can either be big or you can be lean, like really lean. You can't be both. And to a large extent, to a very large extent, in fact, that's true. And to be that year round, very true. And this guy is year round lean and extremely muscular, and is in his mid 40s. Like, I don't care what I don't care your what kind of lifestyle you're leading. You know, he leads this primal lifestyle, eating all organ meats and, you know, raw liver and testicles and blah blah blah, you know, all this nonsense. The fact of the matter is that no man in those times looked remotely like this guy. And he can, you know, you can talk about how testosterone levels, you know, have dwindled in the last, say, 50 to 100 years and blah, 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 which is true, generally speaking, which is true. But that, you know, what he's purveying is not going to increase it to the level where you can get a physique like that. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Science tells you that's nonsense. You know, don't get me wrong, there's genetic elites out there, you know, the 0.1%ers. But even that, even to achieve what he's achieved, even for those 0.1%ers, is extremely hard. It's extremely hard to stay lean and muscular year round for a natural, even if you're in an elite top genetics. It's almost impossible. It really is almost impossible. You know, and then to do it in your mid 40s, as he's doing it, is, you know, while he's traveling around, mind you. So he's traveling around, which means he can't be training optimally. He can't be eating optimally. You know, he can't be resting optimally, you know, which is all the 9 tenets, part of the 9 tenets that he extols as part of his, you know, whatever, his program, let's say, you know. Please check out More Plates, More Dates, the channel and the video. I think the video is called Liver King is a Liar, or something to that effect anyway. But again, as I said, this guy has been one of the biggest frauds going. Now, most people in the fitness industry, and generally speaking, even not in the fitness industry, don't really care if people are using PEDs, but be transparent about it. You know, be transparent about it. Let people know that's what you're doing. You still have to work extremely hard to achieve what you've achieved, even with PEDs. I mean, Larry Rawls is a very perfect example of that. You know, he's put the work in. You don't get to where he got to just taking PEDs. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, everyone would take them. You know, everyone, you know, physiques like his would be, and strength like his would be a given. It wouldn't be freaky. You know, it'd be the norm. But it's not, you know, and that's because you need to work hard with these drugs as well. In fact, these drugs allow you to work harder, which is why when Liver King, but a lot of people who use performance enhancing drugs always say, "Oh, I'm crushing it. I'm working so hard in the gym. I work harder than anyone." Yes, and you know why you can work that hard? Because the drugs allow you to. You know, one doesn't go without the other. It just doesn't. It doesn't. And I know about that because I've used in the past. So, you know, it's to this day, I don't understand, in this day and age, especially where it's becoming more and more acceptable, especially if you're not in a tested sport, to use performance enhancing drugs. I do not understand why people feel they need to lie about it, because he could probably make the same amount of money, maybe even more, by just being transparent. I mean, it's not hurt a lot of Joe Aesthetics, like I said, Larry Wills. There's loads of them. The Brandon something guy, I forget his name because I'm not really into these guys. But he's a British classic physique guy, who also has OnlyFans with his girlfriend apparently. But yeah, you know, all these guys are very transparent, and it's not hurt their careers. It is because we live in an age where we know what's going on. I mean, back in the 90s, the 80s, we all used to buy those bodybuilding magazines, and you know, used to think, oh, they were natural, and they used to, you know, portray that they were natural. But obviously, the game has changed now, and we all know they're not natural. And you know, and we're cool with that for the most part. We're cool with it. It's just shocking to me that, you know, a lot of people, because you can still a lot. I won't name names apart from Liver King, obviously, but there's a lot of guys out there, and girls for that matter. In fact, a lot of girls who are not natural and will purvey that they're natural just to sell programs. And it always shocks me that people are willing to buy these programs, you know. It's just shocking to me, because you can tell by their physique that they're not natural, especially the women, actually, you know. Yeah, it's really shocking. But going back to Liver King, so Liver King, his blood work was also in some of those emails he was sending to his bodybuilding coach, and I didn't really take a good look at the blood work, but from what I understand, his cholesterol level is not great. That's not the be all and end all, don't get me wrong, because, you know, if your triglycerides are in normal range, that as long as your cholesterol is not too sky high, and we're talking about the bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol, then it's not too much of a problem. But yeah, and then on the emails, he also talks about how his growth hormone might be bunk because he is not getting the required bump in IGF-1, which Derek actually explained that could be, you know, something, because obviously IGF-1 is made in the liver. When growth hormone is in your system, it attaches to itself to receptors in the liver, and then the liver makes IGF-1, which then goes to do its job. So there could be something screwed up in his liver. The liver might not be the healthiest. But I would like to see what Liver King actually says in response to this. I'll be very interested to see. You know, I know for a fact that especially in America, being the way America is very litigious, if this is not true, he will try and sue Derek. And I don't think that's going to happen, because Derek is not a man without means himself. So I don't think, I mean, obviously he's obviously not as rich as Liver King, but knowing that Liver King is in the wrong, it won't go well for Liver King at all. So you will know whether this is true or not if you're doubting it by Liver King's response, and he's not going to sue. Because trust me, if I was Liver King and all of that stuff was false, I'm getting on the phone to my lawyer straight away to file a lawsuit. But yeah, so Liver King's been exposed. Although how much of an exposure really to us in the know? Is it really, you know, it's more of an exposure to the masses who are not really informed, or who don't want to be informed, you know, because this guy is just. It's you know, if you watch Derek's video, he goes on about how he's a charlatan. It's a really powerful video, actually. It's you know, it really shows Liver King in a very bad light, because I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to promote a message, you know, for the masses, that they should eat properly, they should pursue their goals physically and otherwise. and be more happy, be happier people. And that's a great message. It's fantastic, yeah. But you shouldn't use a perpetual lie to promote that message, because guess what? The truth always comes out. The truth always comes out. I'm sure all of you watching this video know exactly what I'm talking about in one form or another. The truth always comes out. And, in the case of the fake natties, especially fake natties who have a massive platform as Liver King does, when the truth comes out, not so good, not so good. So yeah, it's a big exposure, man. A big liar has been exposed finally. I would love to see Michael Hearn, aka Michael Trent, exposed the same way, but we'll wait and see if that's ever going to happen. But guys, I implore you to go and watch Derek from More Plates More Dates, his video on Liver King. It is an hour watch, but the hour will fly by, and you will get some much needed education on PEDs and about Liver King. So guys, let me know if you've watched the video already, or if you're going to watch the video, or if you've heard about the video, and what your thoughts are on Liver King. And let me know if you ever thought he was natty, because if you did, I would very much like to know why. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think, please, yeah? Peace.